Warning, playing FPL is highly addictive. It may cause stress, a loss of free time, a resentment towards friends or colleagues, and a dislike to football in general. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Today, official FPL have teased us with some player price reveals for the upcoming FPL season, with the game very likely to be launched in the coming days. They've revealed prices for 5 different teams today, 11 players from each, and in this video I've put all these price reveals together for you. The first team with some teased price reveals is Arsenal, so let's get stuck into it. It's Bukayo Saka who's the most expensive of the Arsenal price reveals today, with him as expected getting a big price hike up to 8 million, following that superb campaign last time out. Interestingly, no Gabriel Jesus in the price reveals today though, who I'd imagine will be priced slightly higher at around 8.5 to 9 million. Arsenal's other new boy in midfield, Vieira, gets priced at 6 million, as does Martinelli, who I'm very keen to monitor during pre-season. You could argue though that all of Vieira, Smith Rowe and Martinelli, who all come in at 6 million, all have slight doubts over their starting place and rotation. So that's why in my opinion, Odegaard is certainly another interesting option for just 0.5 million more. He may not be explosive, but he could be a reliable, fairly priced option considering his nailedness and leadership-like qualities. As for value picks, well, there's definitely some on offer here in defence, with Tomiyasu and Ben White both coming in at a very affordable 4.5 million. Granted, Gabriel and Tierney do offer the more attacking threat, and 5 million for those two could also be very decent value, particularly Tierney if he does manage to stay fit. But for a cheap fourth defender, or simply a cheap defender to have on your bench in FPL, Ben White or Tomiyasu could be excellent budget prospects, especially given their kind run of opening fixtures. Next up for the price reveals, it's Brentford, as they kick off their second year in the top flight after an extremely impressive return last year. It's frontman Ivan Toney that's the most expensive of the Brentford assets, getting a small rise up to 7 million. Slightly on the expensive side I'd say, but he does have that guarantee of starts, penalties, and he was the game's 5th highest scoring forward last year, so a decent, fairly reliable option for sure. One thing to note about Brentford's price reveals is 2 position changes, with Mbeumo last year being a midfielder, now being reclassified as a forward to partner Toney, and he comes in at 1 million less. The other reclassification is definitely an interesting one in my opinion, as it sees Sergi Canos become a defender, due to him being deployed a lot at wing-back last season. In FPL, he was a 5.5 million midfielder last season, and did manage an okay 3 goals and 3 assists. Nothing spectacular, but as a defender that would have been far more handy. He's got 26 goals in 182 games for Brentford, which considering he's now classed as a defender in FPL, makes him certainly one to keep an eye on. Even more so if Brentford can be a bit more solid defensively this season. Wissa at 5.5 million also looks an interesting budget option, who really hit some great form at the back end of last season, whilst one of the most notable price reveals from the Brentford lot here is probably Raya in goal. A lot of the FPL community were torn on whether he'd come in at 4.5 or 5 million, and he does indeed come in at a budget-friendly 4.5. A very appealing goalkeeping option for sure. The next team's price reveals is the much anticipated Manchester City, so let's get stuck right in. It's Kevin De Bruyne who keeps his crown as the most expensive City asset, coming in once again at 12 million. As for the price that many have been waiting for, new signing Erling Haaland comes in at slightly cheaper at 11.5 million, which certainly came as a surprise to some. Thinking about it though, I think that's fair. De Bruyne has years of Premier League pedigree and has proven himself to be a consistent FPL asset for many years, whilst Haaland is a new signing, unproven in the Premier League, and there will still be some doubts regarding his minutes to open the season and his injury record. So despite him no doubt being a very exciting FPL prospect, I think 0.5 less than De Bruyne for his first season is about right. Erling Haaland's kind 11.5 million price tag though will no doubt see him be extremely highly owned come the start of the season. As for the rest of the City price reveals, well, there's some potentially excellent value on offer here, with the likes of Mahrez in particular at a very friendly 8 million. If you can time owning him correctly, I have no doubt that 8 million will seem a bargain at some point of the season. Jack Grealish is too someone I'll be keeping a close eye on in pre-season, who now heading into his second season at Man City will surely be looking to improve on what was a fairly forgettable one last year. 7 million, no doubt a very attractive price should he find some form. As for defenders, well, there's some excellent value all round here in my opinion, with a huge 1 million price drop between all of Cancelo, Diaz and then Kyle Walker. I actually really like what FPL have done here, with that big 1 million saving between each of them, because it's just enough to tempt you into maybe taking a bigger risk. Diaz with much less attacking threat than Cancelo, and then Kyle Walker with some fitness issues and less guarantee of starts. Cancelo still the one I'll likely opt for, but there's no doubting 5 million for Kyle Walker is a very tempting price. I guess we'll have to wait and see on what happens with the signing of Cucurella from Brighton first. No Laporte in this price reveal, sadly. Next up for the price reveals is Brighton. It's Trossard who's the most expensive asset here, with him, Welbeck and Mopé all at 6.5 million. The really interesting price reveals for me at Brighton here are those in defence, with Cucurella at 5 million, who I've just mentioned. Notably, he's been heavily linked with a move to Man City, and should that move go through, 5 million could be a very attractive price. I'm not suggesting he'll be guaranteed of minutes at Man City, of course, but still appealing should that move go through. The price that I really like here too is Lewis Dunk, who surprisingly has seen his price drop from 5 million to 4.5 this time out. Lewis Dunk is an option I've always liked in FPL, but I've never liked paying the 5 million to own him. So with him now at 4.5, he's certainly a tempter. He offers a guarantee of minutes and an excellent goal threat, so definitely one on my radar. I also think goalkeeper Sanchez at a very fair 4.5 is too appealing, as I wouldn't have been surprised if he was priced at 5 million this year. The last of the price reveals today is Leeds United. And admittedly, I was quite surprised to see Patrick Bamford keep a very high price of 7.5 million, despite spending basically the entirety of last season out injured. Considering the time he's spent out, 7.5 is certainly a big ask, and with key creative player Rafinha also looking to be on his way out, well, Bamford may be a wait and see for now. Due to a very poor season defensively last year, understandably, shotstopper Meslier does drop back down to 4.5 million. I can't say I'm particularly interested in the Leeds defence just yet, but it is worth noting that new signing Christensen does have a very decent goal-scoring record from right-back, with him managing 10 goals in 72 games for his previous club Salzburg, hence the more expensive 5 million valuation. Budget forward Gelhardt gets a price hike from 4.5 to 5.5 million this time out, and that will upset those who were looking to him as a super budget third forward. But either way, he could still prove to be excellent value at that price, given his promising form at the back end of last season, especially for those who are going to try and accommodate the likes of Haaland, Son and Salah, etc. Notably, Rodrigo also gets reclassified back to a midfielder this season, so that does somewhat put him back on the radar. Sadly, no price reveal for Rafinha just yet, with FPL very cleverly stalling and waiting to see where he ends up before giving him a valuation. So that's all the price reveals for all 55 players released today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if so, please support the channel by leaving a like and most importantly getting subscribed. You can also hit the notification bell so you always know when a new FPL TV video goes live. It's likely I'll be back tomorrow, assuming there are some more price reveals from official FPL, so until then, FPL responsibly and I'll catch you all very soon.